Hi students, in this video I'm going to explain you about the physical properties of periodic table. Chemists officially recognized around 180 elements. The table starts with the simplest atom, hydrogen, and then organizes the rest of the elements by atomic number. The order of the elements corresponds with the increasing mass of each atom. The periodic table has 7 horizontal rows. These 7 horizontal rows are called periods, and it has 18 vertical columns called groups. You have 18 vertical columns. These 18 vertical columns are called groups. And if you see the periodic table is divided into 4 blocks, children. So we have first group and second group are called S block elements. First group and second group elements are called S block elements, and 13 to 18 group elements are called P block elements, and third group to 12 group elements are called D block elements, or these are called transitional elements. And we have from atomic number 58 to 71 and 90 to 103, these elements are called as F block elements or inner transitional elements, children. So S block, P block, D block and F block elements. Now in the periodic table, children, there are 18 vertical columns, children. These 18 vertical columns are called groups. The elements in each group have same number of valence electrons. And there are 7 horizontal rows, children. These 7 horizontal rows are called periods. And the elements in each period have same number of shells. I told this 18 vertical columns are groups, children. These groups are having what type of elements? They have this 18th group elements are called noble gas elements, and you can see the first group elements are called as these first group elements like hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium. These elements are called as alkali metals, children, and the second group elements are called as alkaline earth elements, and from third group to 12 group elements, these are called transitional elements, children. And if you can see, the 17th group elements are called as halogens. The 17th group elements are called halogens. And you can see here some of the elements which can share both metallic characters and non-metallic characters. Like for example, you can take boron, silicon, astatine. Okay, these elements they share both metallic as well as non-metallic characteristics. They are called as metalloids. So we can see metalloids also, and we can see metals as well as non-metals in the periodic table, children. So towards the left side, we can see the metals, and towards the right side, we can see the non-metals. Now if we can see the first group elements, children, these are called first group elements. These first group elements like hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, these are all alkali metals, children. So what are the properties of these alkali metals? These alkali metals are also called as active metals, children. These are called active metals, and these are very reactive metals that they do not occur freely in nature. And you have to remember, children, these are all soft, malleable, ductile. These are all soft, malleable, ductile, good conductors of heat and electricity, and react vigorously with water. And they have 1 electron in the outermost shell. And therefore, they are ready to lose that 1 electron in ionic bonding with other elements. In this element, cesium and francium, this cesium and francium are the most reactive elements, children, in this group. These elements will explode when they are exposed to water. The next group elements are called as alkaline earth metals, children, like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. So these are called as alkaline earth metals, children. So what are the properties of these metals? These are less reactive than alkali metals, children. But these are also reactive, but when compared to alkali metals, these are less reactive. And as you come down the group, the reactivity and density increases. When you come down, the reactivity and density of these metals will increase. Now we can see the noble gas or inert gas elements, children. You can see the 18th group elements like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. So these are noble gas elements or inert gas elements we call, children. So what are the properties of these elements are? These elements are colorless, children. They are colorless, odorless, tasteless gas. And these are having extremely low boiling point and low freezing point. And chemically these are stable because they have 8 valence electrons in their outermost shell, or else they attain octant electronic configuration, and that's the reason they do not show any reaction with the other metals, and or else they show very little attractiveness to the other metals. Here we have 17th group elements are called as halogens, children. Can you see here? This 17th group elements are called halogens like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. These are called as halogens, children. And these are non-metals except astatine. Astatine is a radioactive metalloid. It shows both metallic and non-metallic characteristic. And these elements are called halogens, which means salt formers. All these halogens form salts with sodium and with other alkali metals. In this halogens, fluorine is the most reactive, children. It's the most reactive. And chlorine is less reactive. Than fluorine and bromine. And iodine is the least reactive element. And we have few elements here, children, towards the left side: boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium, polonium, astatine. These are all elements which show both metallic and non-metallic characteristics, children. So what we call them, which have both metallic and non-metallic characteristics? Very good, children. They are called metalloids. So here towards the left side even we have metalloids. So these metalloids has the properties of both metallic as well as non-metallic characteristics. The next elements in the periodic table is from 3rd group to 12th group elements. We call them as transitional elements. So what are transitional elements, children? Transitional elements, the best definition for transitional element is that it has at least one ion with an incomplete subshell. For example, if you take scandium, children, scandium atomic number is 21. So if you write the electronic configuration, so you write 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d, then 4s, 4s1, children, because you count the number of electrons: 6 plus 4, 10, 10, 18, 19, 20, 4s2, and here the atomic number is 21, children. So 1 electron you are going to write here. So first you are going to fill S shell and then write the D shell. Such elements are called transitional elements, children. So transitional elements are the elements where you're going to fill first S shell and then write the D shell. You all understood, children? And always you can see S shell is filled and then the D shell. So the transitional elements have at least one ion with an incomplete or subshell. So we are filling first S shell and then fill the D shells. Then what are the properties of this transitional elements, children? So what are the properties of this transitional elements, or we call them as D block elements? These have high melting points and high densities and moderate to very hard and very good electrical conductors. These transitional elements have two valence electrons filling the d orbits in the shell below the valence. That is, first we fill the S shell and then fill the D shell. And they can produce colored compounds, children. These transitional elements can produce colored compounds. They can act as catalysts. The next elements are called as metals, children. Here you can see the metals towards the right side. So from exception hydrogen, from lithium, you can see almost all these towards the right side, all are said to be metals, children. And these metals lose one or more valence electrons. So what are the properties of these metals, children? They have the capacity of losing electrons, children, and form cations or positive ions. And these have low ionization energy. Because of low ionization energy, they have the tendency of losing electrons. And these are found on the left side of the periodic table. Then we have non-metals, children. Towards the right side, you can see the non-metals. So these non-metals gain one or more electrons, children. They have the capacity to accept one or more electrons and form anions or negative ions. And these have large ionization energy. Because of large ionization energy, they have the property of accepting electrons. And these are mostly negative electron affinity. These have negative electron affinity. And these are found on the right side of the periodic table. And these occur in any state, children, like solid. Some of them occur in solid state, some of them occur in liquid state and gaseous state. We have next elements, children. So we call them as lanthanides. So here we have the elements which comes after lanthanum, children. Lanthanum atomic number is 57. So the elements which come after lanthanum, 57, 58 to 71. So these are called as lanthanides, children. So these lanthanides are so similar to the elements of lanthanum. These are very similar to the element lanthanum, and these consist of 15 metallic elements with the atomic number 57. That is from the 57 to 71. These elements are called as lanthanides. The next is actinides, children. The elements which come after actinum, that is 89. After the atomic number 89, the elements 90, that is from 89 to 103. These elements are called as actinides, and these are F block elements, children. Even lanthanides are also F block elements, and these are called inner transitional elements, and actinides are also called as F block elements. The elements which come after actinum, they are called as actinides. We have few more elements, children, called as rare earth metals, that is scandium, yttrium, lanthanum, and from cesium to lutetium. So these are considered to be as rare earth metals. Understood, children? So scandium, yttrium, lanthanum, and from cerium to lutetium, that is from atomic number 58 to 71, then 21, 39 and 57. These are said to be rare earth metals, children. These are silvery, white or grey metals. And these have high lustrous and easily get tarnish in air, children. And these have high electrical conductivity. You all understood, children? So that's how the elements are arranged in the periodic table, children. So once again, you have to remember, children, we have the elements are S block elements. These are towards the left side, you have S block, then you have P block, then D block, then F block elements, children. And the first group elements are called as alkali metals. Second group are called as alkaline earth metals. And then the elements from the third group to 12th group are called as transitional elements. Okay, children. And then you have lanthanides and actinides are called as inner transitional elements. And the 18th group elements are called as noble gas or inert gas elements. And the 17th group elements are called as halogens. And you find your non-metals, children. So here carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, selenium, all these are the non-metals, children. And you have metalloids also, children. So you have rare earth metals also, that is from iridium to lutetium, and you have scandium, yttrium and lanthanum. These are called rare earth metals, children. So that is how the elements in the periodic table are classified. Okay, children. In the next video, we shall learn few more properties, that is the chemical properties of periodic table. Thank you.